Well, it seems you may be having computer issues. And if not, at least you learned something new. What if I tell you that there is a collection of tools that you can use to troubleshoot or repair your computer? Yes, you don't even have to pay for it. Pretty good, huh? Let me introduce Hiren's Boot CD. This bootable USB drive contains a Windows PE environment, which really is a lighter Windows operating system. Once we boot into the Windows environment, you will be able to see and use all of these tools from the Start menu. Tools for data recovery, system management, hardware checks, and more. This tool may be recommended for advanced users, but with a little bit of knowledge, anyone can access and use these tools. And don't worry, because we will go over creating this same USB media and also accessing and using some of the tools included in Hiren's Boot CD. Let's begin with the image creation. Okay, now in our computer, we will need a USB drive. Make sure it is a 3.0 standard or higher. Using a 2.0 standard is extremely slow and inefficient. Remember, we are booting into a live operating system. So you get your USB, you insert it into your computer. Make sure that it is showing up on this PC. And yes, you can see here, I have this one. You can see that it doesn't have any space on the drive right here, 14.7 out of 14.8. So now we're going to go into our web browser, and you're going to have to type here Hiren's, and you're going to go into hirensbootcd.org, go to downloads, you go down, click on file name HBCDP64, and this is how the download is going to begin. You're going to see here it's popping up here, and see it's downloading. I already have it downloaded, and just make sure that you do have it in your files and downloads. So you can go to downloads. I'm not going to have it there because I already downloaded it, and I have it right here, HBCDP64. And now we're going to need another program, and it's going to be Rufus. And you guys have seen Rufus on some of my other videos. We're going to go into your browser, type Rufus, then you're going to see rufus.ie. And you have seen this on my other videos. It's creates a bootable USB drives with ease, and also for unsupported Windows 11 installations that I do. It's an amazing tool. So we're going to be using, this one is the installer 4.9, but the 4.9p is a portable version, and basically doesn't install it. It's just like portable version. You just keep it on your, just know where you have it, and then you can just click on it anytime and make sure it's updated. If you're trying to use a new feature, we're going to say yes to escalate privileges. We're going to check for updates online and make sure you select yes. We see here, we can see our device, which is the drive that I showed you guys before. And here you can see it's the only one in the system. And we're going to go into where our Hiren's boot file is. We're going to select it, and we're going to choose GPT, which is going to work fine. GPT is fine. It's going to use UEFI, but if you want to use MBR, it'll work with UEFI and MBR, so it'll be more compatible. But choose either one, whichever you prefer. And it's going to erase everything on the drive. So if you have any important files in that USB drive on your computer, make sure you get whatever you need, because this is going to erase everything, and it's going to install this new image. And you can see there, check if it had an update out there. Okay, and the bootable drive is completed. We see it ready, we close everything else. Now, a word of advice. Something I didn't say in the last section, but I'm going to make sure to add some notes about the capacity of the drive. Hiren's is 3.1 gigabytes. Get 4 gigabytes or more. I would consider even getting a larger capacity USB, just because you don't know, you might want to use it for something else. Also, I'm gonna add a video for those that forget how to do the how to boot into the drive. You got to go into the BIOS, and you got to make sure your USB is at the top. That way, it boots directly into Hiren's instead of your regular Windows environment. Something else, you might have to disable secure boot. Try it. If it doesn't work, disable secure boot, and then use Hiren's. When you remove Hiren's and you trying to restart to your regular system, you might have to re-enable secure boot if you have it configured that way. Just because secure boot wouldn't allow unsigned software to be used on the computer, right? So just take that into consideration. For those of you that forget how to do the BIOS, how to get into your BIOS and make sure your USB image that we created right now is at the top. I'll add a quick video and I'll show you that, and then we'll move over to the actual Hiren's environment. You have your USB inserted, and most of the time you can get to the BIOS clicking F1, F2, delete, ESC. You just got escape. You just got to check on Google to see what your system takes. And here we're gonna click OK. We're gonna go to startup, primary boot, and we're gonna make sure our USB is on top. And in this case, it is on top. You can see here vendor C, and this is the hard drive. If I click on plus, it'll go up, but I don't want to move it up, so I'll return it back to its place. I'm gonna click F10, save, and it's okay. And this is our Windows P environment, so we can see it resembles Windows 11, right? If we go here, mine is gonna look a little different because I'm doing it on a virtual machine rather than a regular computer. But you're gonna see the bootx, you're gonna see the drive, the USB drive, and you're gonna see a drive that is your computer. So you can go in there and check the folders and everything else. You can check your desktop. You could actually retrieve files this way if you click on your drive for your computer, which is gonna show there. You can go into desktops and get all the files from that drive. Now, where this comes useful, it has a lot of tools that you can utilize. If you go here, you can see all the programs, right? And you can see accessibility. Now let's try to check them out here. Utilities. All right. Gonna make it bigger. We have accessibility. We have this this is not gonna have much because it's a Windows P environment. This is more for the actual accessibility feature for the computer, accessories, disk management. If you wanna check your partitions and other stuff, this is regular Windows stuff. But where Hiren's shines is it has specialized tools like this, for example, boot eyes, ECBCD, hard disk tools. Okay, this is the good ones. We have data recovery. We have all these programs, photo rec. So if you lost some files or erased something, you can actually go to the drives and recover some of those files that you erased. I've used Recuva to recover erased pictures and other stuff from memories. And you can just if you have a micro SD, put it on a USB adapter, put it on the computer, it'll recognize it, and it'll start bringing back all the files. If you just want pictures, music, documents, you can select whatever you want, and you'll see the device in question that you want to work with. You click on it, and then you start scanning for. You can do other types of scans. Scan contents, search string. It's Recuva app. I've used it in the past, and it's a great tool to have. And all this stuff is going to be free. And here he has other stuff. Check disk, graphical user interface, Lasoft data recovery, Linux reader, PhotoRec. PhotoRec is good as well. If you want to see how to use specific programs, let me know, and if we get enough comments, I can go into a specific one and do a full in-depth review. And if you want to check some content for those specific programs, YouTube is a great ally. You're gonna go in there and check how somebody else uses these programs to recover files or something else. Now we'll go defrag. If you have SSDs now, it doesn't come useful mainly for, I guess, magnetic drives like HDDs. Diagnostic, crystal disk info. You click on it. Um, it doesn't show on mine because I have a virtual interface, but you're gonna have the health status, temperature of the drive. You're gonna see all the details in here for that drive on that computer, and it's good. It's gonna help you see the status and the operation of that drive that you have on your computer. It's gonna show you all the details: HDD scan, HD tune, test disk if you want to test the disk, data lifeguard diagnostics. So this is good for hard drives and SSDs and even M.2s, imaging. Some of us might have heard about Macrium, which if you want to clone your drive, if you have let's say a 128 gigabyte drive and you want to clone it to a 2 terabyte because you want to get a lot more space, tools like Macrium are great for just doing an easy clone, and they sell the software as well. But here is free if you know how to use it. Like for example, here we see redeploy, restore image, fix Windows boot problems, which if you have a broken boot record, it's something that it can be a headache. Attach a backup, open an image or backup into Windows Explorer. We can see file, backup, restore, other tasks, restore. It seems to have more of restoring and recovery features rather than cloning. Okay, we can see here, backup or restore. If you're trying to restore from a system image and you want to copy it to another file, another drive. Acronis Cyber Protect. Let me check this one out. It's another one. Backup, recovery, tools and utilities. Acronis Startup, manage, clone a disk. Unable to meet this designed to work with 2 or more disk drives. Okay, so because I have the virtual interface, but I'll show you guys in the future how to clone a disk if you're trying to get a larger capacity drive. Tools like this are going to help you out. And Macrium is the one I've used, and it's great. And there's others here. Like I said, if you guys want to see a review, let me know. This is all free stuff. Aomi Partition Assistant, this use US partition. I've heard about this one. I haven't used it myself, but it's great at organizing your partitions. And you can see here the options: clone, partition recovery, add driver for when you have a disk in your computer. And because I don't have one, it's not showing that, but we get the idea. And if you guys want me to do another video with an actual drive, I can do it as well. But basically, what we want to do is cover what Hiren is and how it works and all the applications and how to navigate the user environment. Eraser, if you want to erase all your files in a drive, tools like this, it'll wipe. And sometimes when you don't want stuff to be recoverable at all, you use programs like this and it'll go through every sector and erase everything. Veracrypt, I've used this in Linux, and it basically allows you to encrypt a drive so that nobody can access it. You apply a password and you type the password, you can go into that folder and you mount it and unmount it. It basically acts like a drive like a USB. If you remove it, unmount it, and mount it, and you'll have the file path, and you'll click on that file path. It'll show here, and you'll be able to mount it, add the password, and then you'll be able to see it here on the desktop. Then you'll be able to click and see that program there. It's pretty cool for a free encryption program that you can use. You have other stuff here. Utilities, we went over the hard disk tools. You got network, you have other stuff here, enable firewall, Mozilla Firefox, PuTTY. You've probably seen PuTTY in the past to connect to switches. It's widely used PuTTY. Any disk for, I believe this is for kind of like remote. Let's see what's new any disk. This release any disk on any device. Your address. Okay, so it's kind of like Rust disk in a way. No. Okay. So I recommend Rust disk. I'm gonna do another video for that in the future. Personally, I'm a fan of Rust disk because I help my parents with remote stuff, and I can just log in into their computer and help them do stuff for the DMB or other internet stuff that they need to be done. And you can pretty much use their computer as if you're in there, but remotely. Other tools, you see other free stuff, Notepad++, FS Viewer, XAML, zip, zip files, extraction, 7-zip, VLC Media Player, we all know this one. So if you want to use some of those removable drive tools, we'll have Rufus, Image USB, CD burner. This is a popular tool, CD burner. If you want to make a CD for whatever reason, that's pretty nice. Security, antiviruses. So you have these ones to perform offline scans. If you think you have virus or something like that, key finders for your system. If you want to find the keys, passwords. Now these ones, this one I've used in the past. It's not showing a system, but it basically, if you if you open this program, Windows Login Unlocker, you're gonna see here all the accounts on your current system. Remember, I'm on a virtual system, which is it's not gonna show anything. But if you're on a physical system and you have that USB Hirens and you open this up, you're gonna see all your accounts, your sister's account, your friend's account, and if you have a problem and you can't get into your, let's say you forgot your password, you click on your account and then you go to reset, you go here, you can go reset, unlock, and it'll give you an option to choose a password or remove the password, and next time you log in, you'll be able to log in. So if you have a problem with, you need to bypass the password, Hirens is excellent at going in, changing that password, removing that password, and going back into the system. You can see here, bypass, new user, reset. If you want to create a new user, you want to restore a backup copy of the user database, you can do that as well. I've used it and I enjoy it. And I've done a lot of password bypasses on computers that my users, they forget passwords. I go in and remove and reset that password. And remember, this is for local accounts. At least that's the most important stuff, being able to get to your Windows environment. You have NT password, Lazy Soft, this one as well is a different one. Reset Windows, you can choose whatever option you want to click on, you click next, it's like a wizard, and then when you finish, it shows you whatever option you're trying to do. Now let's go back to security. We went over those, utilities, system tools. You have here other stuff, hardware analyzers or hardware monitors. We have CPU-C, GPU-C, all these ones. What they do is they go and they check your CPU. For example, we're gonna open CPU ID and you can see it shows you all the details for your CPU. And if you're trying to check something, if you're trying to verify something with the actual CPU, this is a great tool to be able to go in and see all those cores and speeds and whatnot. And you have one for the GPU as well, GPU-C. You open it up, it's going to show you the details for your GPU. In this case, it's not recognizing mine because I have a virtual machine. If I do a bypass, it's probably going to recognize it. See, okay, yep. Like I said, hardware info, a PowerShell. We all have PowerShell on our computers. But if you have a graphics card and you want to check something, just go to GPU-C. It's a good hardware monitor for seeing the type of graphics card that you have and some of the details and RAM and whatnot, virtual RAM and other stuff. Rugshot, Specky. I've used Specky in the past as well. Specky helps you see many of the details for your system. You can see the graphics. It says generic, but I do have a graphics card in there. And QEMU, you can see it's a virtual machine. And Specky, basically, if you want to see some instructions and other stuff, let's say if you want to check if your CPU can run Windows 11, there's an instruction there. I forgot what it was. You can see there on your CPU and check if it has that specific whatever, if it's SSE whatever. You check, and if it has it, you know you can run Windows 11. So that's a neat feature if you're trying to check information for your components. This is, to be honest, this is for repair and recovery. Hiren's is an excellent tool, and there's others out there, which my next video is going to be about Medicat. You can see here LazySoft, Windows Recovery. It is not detecting it because I have a virtual machine. Windows tools, we all know these. And if you don't know them, you want to know about Windows tools, I can make a video strictly for Windows tools and how to use them, partitioning and other stuff. Let me know. And this is basically some of the stuff that you can do with Hiren's. You can see here command prompt. This is how it looks. It's a pre-installation environment. This for recovery, for fixing your computer if you have any issues. You have here, you can see here as well, all the stuff. PowerShell, other tools for the freeware stuff, network stuff, system tools. And you can really do a lot for checking your components. If it's a hardware monitor, if it's a password recovery, if it's a boot recovery, if you're trying to clone, if you're trying to recover something, user database, something. Hiren's is a powerful tool when you know how to use it. This is just a brief overview how to make the image, the bootable drive, and the type of programs you're going to see and how you access it. If you want more in-detail information about specific programs or tools within Hiren's, let me know. But this is how you create one. If not, just create it for fun. You'll have fun doing it, and you'll put it aside for whenever you need it. Because if your computer is malfunctioning, you want to be able to go to your another recovery environment. Maybe something was busted on the computer. You can't boot to your regular operating system. You can boot into your Hiren's boot environment. So I hope you guys like the video. If you want to see stuff in detail specifically within Hiren's, let me know, and I'll make some more videos about the other recovery tools that I have seen. Medicat is going to be one of them. I'm on Duventoy as well. But this is it for Hiren's. I hope you liked it. And if not, at least make the USB image on a USB so you can learn how to do this. And have a nice day. Local Tech Man out.